ECU atau ICM tim-tim itu.
Oke.
Apakah Mio sudah bisa belajar? Nah, ini yang tadi saya
bahas mengenai sirkuit ya Bung ya,
betul.
karena ini menarik. Ini merupakan salah satu sirkuit yang berbeda daripada sirkuit-sirkuit lainnya kalau kita bisa katakan, karena kita tahu juga Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez ini tuh sirkuitnya berada 2.250 meter di atas permukaan laut.
Betul.
Ini uniknya, dan juga tadi sudah dikatakan juga bahwa di tikungan terakhir
Nah,
menurut
itu tikungan terakhir tadi.
ini yang bisa sampai 200 km per jam, dan bisa kita lihat juga layar kaca di sana harus ada led brake juga nih. Nah, ini yang justru membahayakan dan bisa jadi slip ibaratnya ya Bung ya.
Ya, tadi udah kita lihat beberapa pembalap overshoot, dan kita akan bisa lihat setelah beberapa balapan bahwa siapa tim yang matang dalam manajemen baterai itu, dan biasanya tim yang matang dalam manajemen baterai itu menang. Contohnya begini, Van. Pada saat kemarin Mercedes juara dunia, 2 tahun berturut-turut. Sekarang tim itu dibeli oleh tim McLaren. Sampai seprinsipal-prinsipalnya juga diangkut.
Semua ya beneran ya.
Apakah mereka bisa ini survive di sini? Kita belum tahu. Tapi dia sama Mahindra aja di seri ini kelihatannya ketinggalan. Tim yang tetap itu kan hanya Jaguar ya.
Yes.
Pembalapnya maupun timnya Jaguar DCS. Kalau ada sih yang kayak Maximilian Gunther di timnya Rocket William, itu ganti baju kan. Pembalapnya tetap, mobil timnya ganti baju jadi MGS Maserati. Nah, tetapi Normanato kita lihat
temannya Bung Wahab ini. Pembalap Prancis satu ini mungkin masih banyak yang asing. Sebenarnya ada beberapa nama yang kalau tadi kita lihat di starting grid berbeda dibandingkan musim lalu. Di antaranya ada Nico Müller, kemudian ada René Vaz, ada Normanato, ada Jack Hughes, dan ada nama Sejak juga yang sebenarnya kita sempat lihat penampilannya di musim lalu ya Bung ya. Betul.
Kalau tadi khusus René Vaz itu sebenarnya dia itu kayak ininya ya, jagoannya kalau di lomba ketahanan. Kalau di ketahanan dia termasuk salah satu berkurang sampai ditentukan di seri terakhir. Itu kan yang menarik. Saya berharap akan lebih banyak lagi pembalap dengan seri yang lebih banyak, dengan sesuatu yang baru ini. Semuanya apapun bisa terjadi nanti, sehingga balapan itu menarik dan bisa ditentukan di seri terakhir. Iya,
dan saat ini kita lihat di layar kaca ini merupakan Eduardo Mortara yang merupakan salah satu pembalap lumayan lama juga, lumayan senior juga di lomba balap jet darat elektrik ini ya Bung.
Iya, cuman ganti baju ya.
Cuman ganti baju, rata-rata ganti baju semua di musim ini tepatnya ya Bung ya. Tapi kalau kita membahas, tadi kan kita sudah membahas mengenai peraturan baru dan hal-hal lainnya seperti mobil dan lainnya. Apakah kalau untuk format sendiri ada yang berbeda, dan kemudian bagaimana dengan attack mode, kemudian attack charge, dan juga fan boost?
Oke, jadi formatnya sudah tidak memakai format 45+1. Kalau itu kan waktu, sekarang benar-benar lap. Contohnya seperti di Meksiko ini, dia ada 36 lap. Tetapi sebagai gambaran, musim lalu Meksiko itu dengan tambah...
Masih ada di musim ini?
Tidak ada lagi.
Tidak ada lagi.
Menurut
saya tapi ini salah satu hal yang fair sih, karena ibaratnya kasihan para pembalap-pembalap yang di tim-tim kecil kalau di musim lalu nggak ada yang milih ibaratnya kan seperti itu. Jadi menurut saya ini sangat fair sekali jika dihapuskan. Setuju nggak sih Bu?
Saya sangat setuju, karena ya paling 5 ya orangnya itu aja. Terutama Stoffel Vandoorne ya. Selalu dia yang dapat.
Pasti kepilih terus, yang kasihan adalah yang lain tidak mendapatkan benefit tersebut ya Bung ya.
Iya, artinya secara competitiveness itu sebenarnya dengan tadi fairness-nya juga akan lebih masuk. Makanya saya termasuk yang setuju untuk fan boost ini dihapus. Tapi sebenarnya itu kan fan boost itu kan salah satu dari gimmick supaya lebih menarik. Tapi mungkin mereka melihat ada banyak hal lain yang lebih menarik, sehingga itu sudah bisa dihapuskan. Benar sekali, itu adalah salah satu cara dari Formula E untuk menggrab fans ibaratnya ya Bung ya. Ya itu dia kenapa diadakan oleh fan boost. Tapi kita melihat lagi bagaimana mengenai persaingan dengan tidak diadakan fan boost itu seperti apa akan mempengaruhi, tentu ini juga sudah dipertimbangkan. Dan saat ini kita lihat suasana di Meksiko City Prix yang diadakan di Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez. Kalau kita melihat suasana di Meksiko City Prix ini selalu penuh Bung ibaratnya. Iya,
ini
betul.
dia yang membuat berbeda dibandingkan kota-kota lainnya atau negara-negara lainnya nih. Kita bisa lihat di layar kaca ini semuanya penuh loh Bung, penontonnya
ya.
Bung.
Dan ini bekas stadion.
Ya.
Ini memang yang membuat kita ngiri. Tapi saya yakin kalau di Jakarta dengan kapasitas yang lebih besar dari yang kemarin, kita mampu kok mengadakan atau mendatangkan lebih dari 10.000 atau lebih dari mungkin bahkan sampai 50.000, 100 orang di dalam satu hari mungkin kita mampu. Jadi ngiri boleh, tetapi kita mestinya bisa dilakukan di Jakarta, apalagi nanti di Jakarta ada 2 seri ya Fen ya.
Iya benar sekali, double header ya akhirnya. Kalau di musim lalu hanya 1 seri saja, di musim ini ada 2 seri untuk Jakarta Prix nantinya. Nah kalau membahas mengenai kalender sendiri kan tadi kan Bung Wahab sudah sempat membahas mengenai ini adalah kalender terpack, ibaratnya terpenuh di sejarah Formula E. Ada 16 balapan di musim ini. Nah, kalender terbaru apa sih Bung yang bergabung di musim ini dibandingkan musim sebelumnya?
Ya ada beberapa seri, ada beberapa lokasi. Contohnya yang jelas yang berbeda adalah sekarang ini Diria dikudeta oleh Meksiko ya, untuk menjadi seri pertama.
Benar, sedangkan Diria jadi yang seri kedua dan ketiga.
Jadi seri kedua dan ketiga double header juga dia. Kemudian setelah itu akan ke India ke Hyderabad. Hyderabad, sirkuit baru, kemudian juga di South Africa di Cape Town, kemudian di Sao Paulo, Brazil.
Oh, Brazil baru juga benar.
Betul, yang dekat mungkin dengan Meksiko dan rata-rata banyak yang di Amerika Latin maupun Amerika, dan yang terakhir ada 2 kan sirkuit permanen selain Meksiko ini. Sebenarnya nanti akan ada di Oregon di Amerika di Portland. Itu juga sirkuit permanen. Ini kan orang tanya, ini street circuit? Bukan. Konsepnya adalah city circuit. Jadi bukan streetnya yang diutamakan.
Jadi berbeda ya.
Tetapi Formula E dari musim awal sampai sekarang yang dikedepankan adalah city circuit. Kebetulan sirkuit yang ada di dalam kota rata-rata street circuit.
Iya.
Contohnya seperti Meksiko atau nanti di Portland di Oregon di Amerika, itu kebetulan letaknya ada di tengah kota.
Oke, tetapi bagaimana dengan Indonesia sendiri yang ibaratnya memang sengaja membuat sirkuit untuk Formula E, sengaja dibikin gitu?
Kan Ancol masih tengah kota,
masih tengah kota,
masih di dalam kota.
Ternyata begitu. Tetapi juga kembali membahas mengenai kalender balap di musim ini dengan banyaknya kota dan negara-negara baru yang bergabung, ini memang membuat orang semakin mencintai Formula E dan melihat bahwa ternyata Formula ini sangat asik disaksikan. Dan juga kalau membahas mengenai sirkuit, berbeda memang sirkuit antara Formula E dan juga sirkuit Formula One. Iya.
Contohnya ini dipakai di Formula One juga. Sirkuit ini cuma dipotong karena memang maksimal itu panjangnya kan karena keterbatasan baterai yang masih belum bisa, sehingga kalau lapnya panjang, muternya sedikit, penontonnya ngelihatnya juga sedikit mungkin begitu ya.
Apalagi cepet banget ya Bung ya, ada sakit ya habis itu ya Bung ya.
Ini kecepatan mungkin bisa sampai 320 di atas kertas. Tetapi Wen, jangan bicara bahwa kecepatan itu akan mempengaruhi waktu. Sekarang ini waktu yang mereka capai meskipun agak sedikit berbeda ya, desain sirkuit Meksiko ini dengan yang lama, itu masih kencengan yang lama dengan mobil.
Catatan waktunya seperti apa?
Seperti apa kita bandingkan? Kalau mau dibandingkan antara kualifikasi pada saat duel dengan kualifikasi sesama kualifikasi. Gitu. Apakah Gen 3 ini bisa lebih cepat daripada Gen 2?
Jadi ternyata masih belum, ibarat kata lah pada saat pre-season test dikatakan bahwa Gen 3 ini memang lebih cepat, tetapi hal tersebut juga tidak bisa dijadikan acuan karena kan ketika itu para pembalap juga tidak bersaing untuk memperebutkan podium. Hal tersebut tentu akan mempengaruhi dan berbeda juga. Nah, yang kita akan lihat adalah secepat apa sepanjang musim ke-9 ini mobil Gen 3 ini ya Bung ya, tepatnya.
Betul. Dan yang lebih penting lagi pola manajemen baterai itu. Karena disitulah kunci kemenangan di setiap race, itu di manajemen baterai itu.
Ya benar sekali, masalah mengenai manajemen baterai ini sangat krusial sekali di Formula E karena itulah kuncinya jika ingin meraih podium. Dan juga kita harus, ibaratnya para pembalap ini juga harus berhati-hati juga pada saat mereka ngegas, tikungan dan segala macamnya, apalagi dengan hal yang baru saat ini dengan mobil Gen 3 ini sendiri. Dan
jadi saya cerita sedikit Van yang tadi bagaimana pembalap ini harus hemat-hemat baterai tadi loh. 1,8 yang pemakaian baterai 0,2, kalau dia bisa hemat 0,6 cuma impas, tapi kalau dia bisa hemat 1 kilowatt itu pasti akan mempengaruhi karena tenaga yang baterai yang tersimpan bisa dipakai untuk fight di akhir-akhir balapan.
Ya, dan sambil sama-sama kita lihat nih Bung, ini adalah sirkuit di Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez yang sebentar lagi akan kita saksikan, di mana tadi ada key point di sana mengenai tikungan dan attack mode akan dilakukan di tikungan ke-15 di sana. Dan
bergeser tadi ada sikin itu supaya tidak kecepatan tidak maksimal, ada sikin di tikungan 8, 9, 10 tadi kan. Itu juga membuat balapan ini jadi berbeda. Itu salah satu perubahan yang ada di musim ini dibandingkan musim lalu.
Ya, dan kita lihat ini adalah starting grid memulai dari urutan terbelakang, ibaratnya ada Normanatto salah satunya di sana dan juga Nico Müller juga yang kembali lagi ya Bung ya di Formula E akhirnya. Dan tadi kita sempat membahas Eduardo Mortara dan juga René Vaz. Dan ini adalah Sergio Sete Camara, pembalap Brazil, di mana Brazil juga saat ini masuk dalam kalender balap di musim ini. Dan Jean-Eric Vergne berada di urutan ke-11, di mana kita tahu kurang mujur Jeff ini di musim lalu, padahal penampilannya sangat bagus sekali, merupakan salah satu pembalap yang cukup konsisten berada di podium dan meraih poin. Dan ini adalah Sacha Fenestras di urutan ke-8, tadi sudah disempat dibahas oleh Bung Wahab, di mana Sacha ini merupakan pembalap pengganti di musim sebelumnya di seri terakhir. Dan urutan ketiga adalah Jack Hughes. Sejauh apakah pembalap baru ini, rookie ini, kita akan menyaksikan penampilannya. Dan di urutan pertama adalah Lucas Di Grassi, urutan kedua menjadi milik Jake Dennis. Dua nama yang tidak asing lagi bagi Anda para pecinta Formula E tentunya. Dan kalau begitu tidak usah berlama-lama lagi, langsung saja kita akan menyaksikan seri pembuka Formula E musim ke-9 Meksiko City Prix di Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez. Selamat menyaksikan.
There's the Forosol Baseball Stadium, absolutely packed. What's it like racing around there?
So much energy, really. I can tell you. These electric cars are quiet, as we know, and it's a fantastic sensation as a driver to hear the chants from this crowd, not only in the stadium, but on the front straight as well, before the lights go out here in a couple of moments.
Here come the burnouts. We were looking forward to this as they move from the dummy grid to the main grid, trying to get some temperature in those rear tyres. And these brand new Formula E cars for this season have so much power that they really burn out well. And I'm really interested to see what the starts are. 220 kilowatts off the line last year. 300 kilowatts off the line this year, and putting the power down has been something that the drivers have found really, really tricky. We're in position. New era of Formula E about to get underway. Brand new car, brand new season. De Grassi's on pole. All 5 lights are on, and we go green in Mexico City. It's a decent getaway from De Grassi. It's a very good start from Jake Hughes. Jake Hughes in the orange McLaren to the outside of turn 1. Can't quite do it. Sacha Fenestras is going full attack into the first corner, and he's got ahead of Sebastian Buemi. Everybody safely through the first turn, with De Grassi leading in the Mahindra. Dennis is second in the Andretti. Third is Jake Hughes in the Lotterer, ahead of Lotterer. Nick Ticktum is 5th. Verline is 6th. Fenestras ahead of Buemi and up into 7th place. Now they fan out, coming down into the hairpin right-hander at turns 5 and 6. Great side-by-side action through the middle of the pack. Someone getting squeezed under the grass almost. I think that might be Buemi fighting with Da Costa, potentially in the Porsche. It is, as they come into the chicane for the first time. Everybody kneeling through there as well. Evans very, very close to a bit of contact with Jean-Eric Vergne. And he's having to work hard to defend his position. Fries has dropped down to the back of the field, Sainz is out by the looks of things. The Dutchman is out of the Prix, having started towards the back of the grid, and the safety car is deployed. Safety car deployed. That's Thomas Beermeyer, the boss of the app team. Safety car deployed on lap 2 of 36 because Robin Price is off the circuit, so we can calm down a little and regroup. It's the top 10 that score points. Verne made up a couple of places, then lost a couple of places. There, Price is off the chicane, so let's see what happened to him on the outside. Oh, he got hit from behind, which sent him into the back of Nato. That's a very odd one indeed.
I say that we were clean on the first lap.
Yeah.
Just didn't see that picture. Nothing he could have done there.
So is it Bird that's gone into the back of him?
An accordion effect there in the turn 9 chicane. Everyone's stacking.
So lap 2 of 63. France still in the car, but that's just procedural until he's told he can get out of the car. He has to remain in the car. And we've got the front. Looks like we've got quite a decent chunk of front left suspension damage there. Oh, and there's a bit of bodywork further around the circuit as well. So De Grassi is leading here. Dennis is second. Hughes is third. Lotter at fourth, and fifth is Dan Tipton. They'll pick up the safety car at the exit of the first corner. Statistically, the pole sitter is more likely to retire from this race than to win it. The pole sitter has retired 3 times in the Mexico City Prix in 6 races. The pole sitter has only won it twice. But Lucas de Grassi, whenever he's led a lap in Mexico City, he's crossed the line first. So things are, he's got mixed omens, Lucas de Grassi, up at the front now that he's behind the Porsche safety car.
Brazilian fans will take the positive.
Yeah.
Lucas de Grassi has fantastic memories here. One of the most epic finishes in Formula E history, passing.
You keep me informed, let me know if the race gets extended 1 lap or not.
So there's, last year we had added time. This year, depending on how long we're behind the safety car, laps can be added to the race distance. We'll find that out towards the end of the Prix. But that's why de Grassi's asking to keep me updated if the race is going to be extended by a few laps, because that will play into the team's energy management. Now here's a look at Sam Bird's view of this incident. Coming into the chicane now, that's Robin Freins ahead. Oh, he didn't get hit, Freins. How strange. That must have been a bit of a software problem or something. It looked as though I fully and unreservedly apologised to Sam Bird, but it felt from that onboard as though Freins got hit.
Yeah, maybe just didn't expect everyone to slow down so much through that corner.
Well, again, apologies to Sam Bird. And those two former teammates for a couple of seasons at the Envision team. The safety car deployed at the moment. Hopefully Bird's car will be removed before too long. Here's Bird's radio.
Yeah, but I was just trying to under-consume massively.
So Bird just talking to Phil Ingram on the radio. Norman Nato has come into the pits as well for some reason. Jake Hughes there in 3rd place. That is the McLaren team. Zach Brown, the CEO at McLaren Racing, here this weekend. Norman Nato is retiring in the Nissan, and he was the one who got hit, wasn't he, by Freins. So that will probably be why he's out of the race. And the McLaren man, Jake Hughes, in 3rd place. And it's a new entry, McLaren. It's a new team, but they've basically brought out all of the Mercedes EQ personnel from last season. So Ian James, the team principal, still there. The race engineers are all there as well. So there is Roger Griffiths, the Avalanche Andretti team principal, watching Dennis in 2nd and Lotterer in 4th at the moment. And they're just keeping a bit of a gap to Lucas de Grassi while we are behind the safety car here. Robin Freins and Norman Nato, 2 retirements from the opening lap. It's Fred Bertrand, who's the new team principal at Mahindra Racing.
Is there any way to turn DMC off? Safety car, man, it's pulling me slowing down quite a lot.
So, didn't say anyway to turn DMC off. DMC stands for something new this year.
I'm not sure.
But it sounds like it's some kind of engine that's kind of pulling him forwards when he's trying to slow down.
Yeah, possibly some performance software in the car that he's trying to turn off now because he's going so slow behind the safety car. Efficient driving doesn't stop when the safety car comes out. You're trying to carry as much momentum as possible. And in your car at home, if you have a bunch of green lights, driving back from work, you're using a lot less fuel than you are if you were stopping.
Here's a look at the start. You can see that Jake Hughes got to the outside there, but couldn't quite make the move. Fenestrad's got aggressive around the outside of Buemi, which is a lovely move to get him into 7th place. Oh, René Rast, the second McLaren, so the orange car all the way back on the right-hand side. He got so close to the wall with one of the Maserati MSG teams. Here they come. Watch this final McLaren into it. They go 3 wide in, and just about managed to make it through. Here's a look at the view on board from Stoffel Vandoorne. Good getaway, got ahead of Cassidy, but Sete Camera covered the inside and tried to get to the outside of Sete Camera, but decided against it. Safety car coming in this lap. Lap 5 of 36 in the opening race of the season in the ABB FIA Formula E World Championship. We're about to start lap 6 of 36 with Lucas Di Grassi leading the way in the Mahindra. His first race with this new team, and he's backing the pack up now. When will he decide to floor the throttle? How alert will Jake Dennis be behind him? Will anyone be able to make a move down into the first corner? There goes Di Grassi now. Gets on the power. We're on board with Dennis as he tries to follow him. Green flag racing once more as we come out of the final corner and down the start-finish straight. And Di Grassi's got a pretty good restart here. Hughes is fairly close to Jake Dennis coming down towards turn 1, but not close enough to make a move. Not a big gap back to Mitch Evans. Vandoorne is looking for the inside of Cassidy into the first corner. Everybody still settles back in their place. But Lottera's looking the most racy, I would say, out of the top 4 at the moment. But then when is Lottera not looking racy?
Exactly. It's in Andretti's best interest at the moment for Lotterer to overtake the McLaren, just to give Jake a bit of a buffer here. He can relax a bit more, potentially save some energy and focus on the racing.
Drive shaft's gone. Drive shaft's gone. Randomly, drive shaft's gone.
Drive shaft gone, so that is probably him. Oh, it is him out of the race. Inside of turn 2.
A mechanical failure. Nothing to do with software, I don't think.
Sam Bird said to me on the grid, I don't think anything else could go wrong today because he's had such a horrible weekend with nothing of his own doing, all just mechanical and electronical errors in the Jaguar, and that is another one. The safety car is deployed again. So safety car deployed again.
This has to cause some overtime now, maybe some laps added to the end of the race.
So that's a real frustration for everybody, really. There is Bird pulled over at the side of the circuit on the inside of turn 2.
This should be quick. They can pull him backwards into the pit exit. We should be able to get going again. Di Grassi with a solid restart there. You can see it's...
Bit of Bird radio there, but Di Grassi with a very solid restart, as you say. So we are on lap 7 of 36 behind the safety car in the first Formula E race of the season. It's Bird said when it rains it pours on the radio, and it's been a tough one for Bird. Here's Di Grassi's radio. This was Bird pulling over on the side of the circuit.
Just on acceleration out of turn 1, I think he just snapped the drive shaft there. Maybe we can hear it. Oh, let go on the exit of the final corner.
That's very mechanical.
Yes. You hear the regen there. Slowing down the car. Nope, it's not where you want to park.
Bird out of the race. A really tough season last year for Sam Bird. James Barkley, the Jaguar TCS Racing team principal, frustrated with that one. His other car, Mitch Evans, is in 10th place. How is it? Here's Dennis, who's running in
Okay,
second
upon
place.
safety car restarts, upon restart we will need to stay sharp regarding attack mode.
So they'll need to stay sharp regarding attack mode. So this year you get 4 minutes of attack mode. So instead of running at 300 kilowatts, you get to run at 350 kilowatts for 4 minutes during the race. You have 2 intervals in which to do that. So you can either do 2 minutes and then a bit later another 2 minutes, or you can do 1 minute and then a bit later 3 minutes, or 3 minutes and then a bit later 1 minute. And that is entirely at the teams and drivers' discretion, basically. And there's such an interesting element of who will blink first in attack mode, and they've moved the attack mode activation zone as well to be on the outside of turn 15. So it's a different place. You'll probably lose a place when you take attack mode as well. So Sandberg's car being recovered, and we should be going racing again fairly soon, hopefully, as the safety car is deployed out there. But yeah, new attack mode strategy this season, and I'm fascinated to see how it pans out. What are you expecting?
You heard that radio message from Sean McGill, Jake's engineer now for a couple of years at Andretti Autosport. It's very situational. So depending on what they decide pre-race, what the plan is going into the race, Jake may take attack with Degrassi. He may try to do the opposite and save it for later. But once you pre-select that strategy, whether you're going to take 1 minute, 3 minute, 2 and 2, you're stuck with that strategy from the first attack sequence. So it's going to be interesting to see here. It's the first time we've had this attack strategy in Formula E.
Robin Fries is out of the race, and his work is not the most exciting stat, but I'll give it to you anyway. Robin Fries completed 2 full seasons without a retirement in Formula E, which is the first time that's ever been done. I don't know if anyone had ever done one before, but Robin Fries has done 2 full years without a retirement. He has now had a retirement, hasn't started this one. The cars are going to go through the pit lane this time in order to avoid the recovery vehicle that's down the start-finish straight recovering Sam Bird's car. But that is a good sign because it means that we should be going...
There could be a possibility that the safety car could be coming through the... Yeah, safety car is coming through the pit lane. Safety car is coming through the pit lane. It's official now.
So, safety car running through the pit lane. What do you feel as a driver when the safety car comes out? Does it depend are you sometimes like, oh, it's a bit of a relief, I can have a rest, or sometimes you're like, oh, come on.
If you're Lucas Degrassi, it depends how much of a lead you have, right?
Yeah.
The safety car comes out, it's different to virtual safety car. Safety car comes out, and whatever cushion you have to the car behind, that'll be completely absorbed. So for Jake Dennis here, it's a good sign. He's going to have another chance at Lucas Degrassi when they go green. In a virtual safety car, you keep the gaps around other drivers.
So the car's through the pit lane and back out again. Here's Jake Dennis.
Okay, so we've got Pascal just behind Lotterer. He's managed to overtake Ticton. That can play out pretty well for us.
How aware did you want to be of the sort of order behind you? Safety car will be coming in this lap actually, so let's just have a quick look at how the energy is going at the moment. Lucas Degrassi has slightly less usable energy available than Dennis, Hughes, Lotterer and Verline, but in the early stages everyone's pretty even. Maybe Sete Camera a little bit less and Tipton, but broadly speaking we're all at about 86-87%. So safety car in this lap. We're about to get going again. Is Degrassi going to do the same move, or is he going to wait a little later? He looks quite close to the safety car this time.
It's going to have to be in a different spot. It's going to have to accelerate in a different spot.
Jake spread out the back of the field as well. He's gone. I think he's gone.
So in a bit. Oh no, not yet.
Now it goes. So Lucas Degrassi gets the race back underway, coming through the Pertama and down the start-finish straight. I tell you what, Dennis and Hughes are quite close to the back of him. They come up to the front stretch. Degrassi builds the advantage a little bit. Down into the first corner again in these brand new Formula E cars for season 9. are the top 5. Mahindra, Andretti, McLaren, Andretti and Porsche. 3 Porsche-powered cars actually in the top 5 positions at the moment, because Andretti are a Porsche customer team. But it's Lucas de Grassi leading the way for Mahindra as it stands. 2 Mexico City wins under his belt before. 1 World Championship under his belt before from season 3. Now we're on board with Jake Hughes in 3rd in the Neon McLaren. This is his Formula E debut, and he's running in 3rd place. Very good stuff from Hughes.
Very impressive. And Lucas would have been told that he's 1% less energy than the 2 cars behind. That's definitely something that he's going to want to take care of.
Now Cassidy and Vandoorne have both activated their first attack mode. Cassidy doing it for 1 minute and Vandoorne going for 3 minutes. So Cassidy is doing a 1 then 3 and Vandoorne is doing a 3 then 1 strategy. So that'll be interesting. They come down into the first corner. Vandoorne didn't make much progress off the start. There he is in the number 1 car, but here are the front 3 again. Verline's very close to the back of the Lotterer car ahead of him, the 2 teammates from last year. You can see here on the left-hand side, everyone has 4 minutes of attack mode. Cassidy and Vandoorne, in their next attack mode, will have 3 and 1 minute left, respectively.
This attack sequence might trigger drivers in front of Cassidy and Vandoorne to start going through those loops. They are now on the outside of the stadium section, last year on the inside, so you do lose a bit of time, potentially a position or 2. So you want to build that gap.
Push for attack, push for attack. You need 2/10.
And don't know if he did it there, Dennis. They said push for attack. Don't think he did by the looks of things. So it was, wasn't it? Yeah. I mean, the radio messages we play are delayed, but only by a few seconds. Like it's not a huge delay on the radio message. Here we go with Vandoorne. He is in attack mode and he's going to get Nick Cassidy here down into turn 1. Looks to the inside. Through he goes. And through goes Vandoorne, and through to the lead goes Dennis. Jake Dennis takes the lead of the Mexico City Prix. De Grassi down to 2nd place. So, Dennis goes through. But here comes De Grassi trying to get back. He's got a good drive out of the corner. But now Jake Hughes is trying to take advantage of that. Coming down towards the chicane. Hughes covers the inside. Lotterer goes towards the outside. But Jake Dennis has caught De Grassi napping there a little bit and lunged him at turn 3, kind of out of nowhere. Lap 12 of 36. Dennis in the lead, and look at the advantage he's built up over De Grassi already as they come back into the stadium section. Dennis leads, De Grassi 2nd, Hughes in 3rd. None of the top 10 have taken attack mode yet.
That radio transmission, as we see Evans go through attack there. The radio transmission to Jake earlier on might have been good for the overtake.
Yeah. Potentially. And also Dan Tickton has a drive-through penalty to overpower. Such a shame for Dan Tickton. That'll be a software glitch for the Neo team, which means that he's had a power spike at some point, used more than the 300 kilowatts he's allowed, and he is now serving a drive-through penalty. And De Grassi made a mistake. That's the replay in the bottom right.
Okay.
So that was De Grassi making a mistake, and that is what allowed Dennis to get through. He got wide coming out of the first corner.
He's pulled the gap now.
Yeah. So Dennis leading. That's De Grassi in 2nd place. Hughes in 3rd. Lotterer in 4th position. Lap 13 of 36. Jake Dennis's radio.
Use attack. Use attack.
Use attack because he has the margin to do it now. Jake Dennis up at the front, through he goes. So Dennis activates his first attack mode for 1 minute. So they're doing a 1 minute then a 3 minute strategy for Dennis, and he's the first driver really in the top 10 apart from Da Costa, who's just activated it for 2 minutes to use his attack mode. So Dennis is now looking in a strong position, and he said to you on the grid, didn't he? Main concern was Hughes and the McLaren powertrain, or the Nissan powertrain in the back of the McLaren. So we'll see what happens with that. At 14 of 36, this is a fight for 6th place Sasha Fenestraz, up ahead Sebastian Buemi, as they continue to squabble. Here's De Grassi.
Try and go with Dennis.
So, Verline is right behind Andre Lotterer here. These two teammates from last season, lap 14 of 36.
Jake has to be careful here. Extra power means more wheel spin. Wheel spin means wasting energy. So very easy on the throttle. These tires don't overheat as easily as last year's. So thermal degradation not as much of an issue.
So Verline in fifth position activates his first attack mode. So he's going for 2 minutes and 2 minutes of attack mode. See the different strategies there. Fastest lap of the race from Jake Dennis. 1 second ahead of De Grassi that time. And then it's Hughes in third, Lotterer in fourth. De Grassi's dropping back a little, isn't he? Here's Dennis's radio.
Okay, both cars same energy, Mode 2 now,
So when he's saying both cars, does he mean both Andretti's?
The sister car would be same energy as it, because that's information that they have back on the pit wall. They don't know what other car's status of energy is until they put it on the broadcast.
So that's 15 of 36. Jake Dennis running away. That is Oliver Askew, the former Andretti driver, alongside me in commentary. Jake Dennis's teammate from last season.
Go and take attack this lap, you'll be racing Verline. Go and take attack this lap, you'll be racing Verline.
And Lotterer comes out behind Verline. So Lotterer activates 1 minute of attack mode. He's come out behind Pascal Verline, though, who's up into fourth place.
Who's in attack as well.
So, Verline did it for 2 minutes. So Lotterer's he's only going to have about 10 seconds of extra attack mode compared to Verline. Hughes did it as well on this lap, so that's a 1 minute run for Jake Hughes. Look at the energy remaining here as well. De Grassi's not in good shape energy-wise, and coming into turn 3, Buemi is still looking racy with Da Costa, but isn't able to do it. Dennis leading, De Grassi is second, third is Hughes, fourth is Verline, fifth is Lotterer. Then there's a gap back to Sasha Fenestraz. They're in sixth position, just ahead of Da Costa in seventh, Buemi 8th, 9th is Evans, 10th is Jean-Eric Verne. Gap at the front for Jake Dennis, 1.8 seconds.
Porsche powertrains all have very similar energy with an advantage over the rest at the moment. Avalanche and Andretti running.
Do I go for attack mode?
Take attack mode.
So De Grassi in second place activates attack mode for 1 minute. So he's doing 1 minute, then 3 minutes, Lucas De Grassi, for the Mahindra team.
Good attack sequence for him. He had the gap on Hughes, it didn't happen. So no loss in position.
17 of 36. Jake Dennis is leading. 3.4 seconds ahead of Lucas De Grassi here. He's really building a lead. This continuing squabble between Buemi and Da Costa continues, but Da Costa holds the place. But it's this fight for second, third, fourth and fifth that is really the one to watch, because De Grassi's the stopper in the bottle at the moment, and he's allowing Dennis to get away. And there's Norman Nato out of the race after contact with Robert Price on the opening lap. Watching his teammate Sasha Fenestraz running in sixth position, but this is the fight all over second place.
Jake's driving away.
Yeah.
Really taking advantage of that attack. I know he's 3.6 seconds ahead of De Grassi.
Just to give you lap 17 of 36, and Jake Dennis's lead is 3.7 seconds here. Lucas De Grassi doing his best to hold everyone off for second position. On board with De Grassi, running in second, looking back at the cars chasing him, and comes across the line, loses another 0.4 of a second. The gap for Dennis is almost up to 4 seconds now, up at the front. He's ramping away. romping away, ramping up the gap, all of these things, as he comes out down towards turns 5 and 6. Edo Mortara is dropping down the tower on the left-hand side. He's in the barriers. Mortara for the Maserati MSG crew, out of the race, facing backwards in the wall.
That's going to be a safety car.
Could well be. Lap 18 of 36, the Maserati MSG crew had a difficult qualifying. James Rossiter's their new team principal. They are the Venturi team from last year, just renamed as the Monaco Sports Group, with a Maserati powertrain. Let's see what happened to Edo. By himself and just
the rear.
Carries too much speed in. No contact.
And some dirty air there from the car in front, just lost the rear at the apex. Maybe a bit too much rear locking.
18 of 36. So the safety car is deployed again.
Not what Jake wanted to see.
Yeah. No, that's true, because he was, even if he was managing his energy well, which I'm sure he was, you're still wasting that energy building a gap up, because you could have just sat in front of Di Grassi and kept the same or kept more energy than before. So that's an interesting part for Jake Dennis.
As a driver, at least he knows he has the pace.
So lap 19 of 36, safety car deployed here in Mexico City, opening race of the season. Eduardo Mortara has crashed out of the race and is waiting to get recovered once the safety car comes out.
Just be aware that the car might shut down. Be aware that the car might shut down.
So Lotterer, I think, has a bit of a problem going on inside his Andretti, and so the team are just making him aware of the problems. This is Mortara's 4th time in the last 5 races that he's failed to score points. The one race he didn't fail to score points, he won. Such a hit and miss last few races, I have to say, for Eduardo Mortara. He is okay, and the car will be recovered as quickly as possible.
So Andre may have an alarm that he's reported back to the pit wall. A software issue for that car.
Just an update on Robin Freitz here. We saw him involved in that accident in the start of the race. He's actually broken his left wrist in that, and will need to undergo an operation here in Mexico. So sorry to hear that for Robin Freitz. Hopefully he can be back for Diriyah, but we'll wait and see. Sam Bird had a sort of similar incident last year, and that put him out for Seoul. There is Eduardo Mortara making his way back to the pit lane.
Okay, so we banked quite a bit there. Mode 1 is going to help us out in the restart, so make the most of it.
And Dennis being given some information on the radio. That Robin Freitz news coming from the team. So best wishes to Robin. Lap 20 of 36, safety car going through the pit lane. Worth pointing out, we do have an hour's time limit on this race as well, so it's laps or 1 hour time limit, whichever expires first, and we'll of course keep you up to date with that as we go. Everybody going through the pit lane now because of the recovery to Eduardo Mortara down at the first corner. The Andretti team saying...
Okay, same level as Hughes, Okay, 1% less than Pascal, 1% less.
He's been given the updates on energy around him, and there you can see the updates for yourself. Di Grassi really working hard to try and keep that position, isn't he, using energy at the moment. But as I say, in the other Andretti, the team are trying to work through the problem. He does have an issue, but the team are trying to work through it, say, the Andretti squad. But their other car, Jake Dennis, is leading the way. It looked as though the Mortara car was almost cleared as he ended up in the barriers, driving his new Maserati down a bit of a dead-end street down there at turn 1. Jake Dennis is leading the way. Di Grassi 2nd, Hughes 3rd, Verline 4th, Lotterer 5th, Fenestraz 6th. Safety car coming in this lap, so we'll be going racing once again. We'll see what Dennis can do on this restart. It's got a good chunk of energy compared to Degrassi. And when's he going to go as well? And it's so difficult in the pack here.
We have same energy than Verlaine, 1% more than Hughes in front and 2% more than Degrassi in front as well. So Verlaine are down on energy.
Lotterer getting told the energy readouts there as well. There goes Dennis. Floors the throttle. Safety car comes in. We go racing once again in Mexico City. Green flag waved. And Dennis is the race leader for the Avalanche Andretti team. Lucas Degrassi is second for the Hindra. Jake Hughes is third in the McLaren. Fourth is Pascal Verlaine. Fifth is Andre Lotterer. They're all a bit spread out coming down towards turn one this time. Swinging it through the right-hander. If anyone looks closest, I think it's Verlaine. He's looking quite racy on the back of Jake Hughes. Through the left-hander. And Verlaine has more energy than those ahead of him. So it's sort of not quite now or never for the winner of last year's Prix here, but now's the time to make a bit of progress. Because often the first sort of half of Formula E races, you know, consolidating your position and then playing with your energy in the second half of the race.
This is when it starts to turn up. 15 laps to go now. Drivers are going to get much more aggressive. I do want to point out Porsche was 1-2 last year and now have 4 cars, 4 powertrains in the top 7. So something with them in Mexico is clicking the last couple of years.
Absolutely. Here they come through the Foro Sol and out of the stadium once more. Jake Dennis leading. There's the view back from Jake Hughes in third place, making his Formula E debut, the 28-year-old from Birmingham, race winner in Formula 3, raced in Formula 2 as well, never really with a sort of big hitter team, and he's been very, very impressive on his debut weekend here in Formula E. He was the Mercedes EQ development driver last season when they won the championship. Verlaine's really, really close here. How difficult is it to keep managing your targets and keep, you know, doing what you need to with the energy when you have someone trying to overtake you?
Very difficult. These drivers have an energy bar that's constantly moving through the lap. You want to get that towards the middle as you cross the finish line, hitting your energy targets, but say you're defending from the car behind, you're going to want to get that energy back in the tank at some point before the lap ends, or else your race strategy is going to get a bit slower.
See Dennis do attack so far ahead of everyone. He doesn't, but he's got such a big advantage, 1.2 seconds now for Dennis, all queued up behind Lucas Degrassi in second position in the Mahindra. Third is the fire orange McLaren. Fourth is Pascal Verlaine in the Porsche. Lotterer is fifth. Strauss to Costa, Quevi, Evans and Byrne are the top 10 at the moment. So out over the start finish straight we go. Jake Dennis leading the way for Avalanche Andretti. Lap 23 of 36. Second is Degrassi. Third is Hughes. And fourth is Verlaine. And Lotterer is coming under big pressure from Sasha Fennestraus as well. I think Lotterer is struggling a little with this. Actually, I apologise. It was Fennestraus under pressure from Da Costa. So it was 6th and 7th that is the very close fight. 23 of 36.
Big midfield fight there, as you see. Evans, Vandoorne, Cassidy all together. The points are up at the front. Dennis, we can expect him to take his next attack once he has built a sufficient gap to Degrassi in second.
Here comes second, third, fourth and fifth.
Should we take an attack?
Fourth.
Negative.
So then Verlaine obviously a bit earlier in the lap.
The engineers out on the pit wall have a much broader picture of what's going on in the race. So, of course, the drivers can ask if they should take attack when they feel like they need to, but at the end of the day, the engineers on the pit wall know what's best.
Always? Or sometimes you come out at the end of the race and you're like, come on, I knew that.
I know last year we might have had some tire degradation and taking attack might be counterintuitive, not being able to use that extra power on acceleration, but with this new Honk of tire, that's not really a factor.
driver's eye here with Stoffel Vandoorne running in 11th place. The camera inside Vandoorne as he comes into the stadium. He's right behind his DS Penske teammate, at the chicane. He's right behind his DS Penske. Oh my goodness. He's right behind his DS Penske teammate, Januari, as now he comes into the stadium section. And those two right together and kind of biding their time a little bit. There's a bit of a gap back to Fenestra's in 6th position. So then Fenestra's to Costa Buemi, Evans, Vandoorne is all a bit of a queue. 7/10 of a second. The gap between De Grassi and Hughes. The look back from Hughes to Verline behind him. As they come out across the line, down towards turn 1.
We'd normally see a big fight for the final points paying position in P10, but obviously both those teammates running 10th and 11th playing nicely so far.
Dennis's lead up to 2 seconds. He's in such control of this race, so I'm not surprised by him or the team, but boy, mistake there from Lotterer. Went very, very deep into 5 and 6, which is what he did in qualifying, and does the same here, so he falls a little bit away from the back of Verline. So 2nd, 3rd, 4th, coming through the chicane. De Grassi, Hughes, Verline. Then a little gap for Lotterer behind. Evans has got ahead of Antonio Felix da Costa and up into 8th position. On lap 25 of 36 now. Through attack mode there goes Verline and Lotterer. So Verline and Lotterer both activating their 2nd attack modes here.
Go attack, Shadow Verline is going attack, go attack, go attack.
So Lotterer being told to go into attack mode because Verline is. So that was a sort of defensive move really from, an aggressive move from Lotterer because they know they have more attack mode than Verline.
More attack remaining.
More attack mode remaining. So now they will have an extra minute, almost an extra lap in attack mode to try and overtake Andre Lotterer, to try and overtake Pascal Verline for 4th place.
Okay, push for attack, push for attack.
De Grassi being told to push for attack this lap around. He's got enough of a gap at the moment on Jake Hughes, they battle over 2nd place. Back down towards the stadium once more. De Grassi in that gold and red Mahindra running up in 2nd place. Jake Hughes is right behind him. We're expecting De Grassi to go through attack mode here, and Hughes follows him through. And Verline doesn't, and Verline slots through, gets ahead of Jake Hughes. Now Hughes will have more attack mode than Pascal Verline remaining. Look, you can see on the tower, Hughes will have an extra 50 kilowatts for another couple of minutes, to be honest, but Verline has managed to get through.
Last year's winner, making a late charge, multiple podium finisher here in Mexico City.
So making a bit of progress now. Mitch Evans hasn't used his attack mode at all yet. You can see on the tower on the left, he's still got 4 minutes remaining of it, so he needs to crack on with this. This is what happened with Verline when those two took attack mode. Verline was able to just wriggle through the middle. There might even have been a bit of contact with the back of De Grassi here. There, just maybe a little nudge, but De Grassi managed to hold the place. So, De Grassi 2nd, Verline 3rd, but now Verline in 3rd is out of attack mode. Hughes in the McLaren has attack mode, and he'll want to get back through into 3rd place. But this will be frustrating for Hughes because he's dropped back a little now from De Grassi, the man he was fighting.
Getting information here that Evans actually missed attack, as we see Dennis going through, taking his final attack loops. Still a massive lead in complete control over Lucas De Grassi. You can see the gap there.
I mean, you were in the team last year as Jake Dennis's teammate when he had these dominant weekends, like in London and stuff like that. And then he gets a lead like this. It's kind of unstoppable.
You get that confidence as a driver.
Yeah.
You feel unbeatable. It turns into performance on track.
Yeah. 28 of 36. And Jake Dennis is leading the way here in Mexico City, opening race of the season. His lead is huge over Lucas De Grassi in 2nd place. There he goes. Now here's De Grassi, Verline and Hughes all fighting over that 2nd spot. De Grassi and Verline finished side by side back in season 5. impressive after Verlaine led the whole race, and then de Grassi nipped him right at the line when Verlaine ran out of energy, when Verlaine was racing for the Mahindra team. All sorts of story threads intertwining in the ABB FIA Formula E World Championship. Verlaine's made 3 places over the course of this race. He's having a strong race, and Hughes only has 30 seconds of attack mode left compared to Verlaine. So down this front straight, or the advantage is gone, and he's not close enough at the moment.
No, Pascal definitely on the offensive here, probably not looking in his mirrors too much.
Different lines through the final there.
Yeah, just looking for a little bit of clean air. We also remember in qualifying, he almost lost the rear of the car.
How much less energy de Grassi has?
He's not in good shape.
He's got 2 or 3%. That's a lap.
I can tell you that is not a good sight for the Mahindra team, and that's going to be relayed to him immediately.
Jake Dennis is leading the way, and I think
Pascal's going by here shortly.
Yeah, that message has been relayed, and de Grassi knows he's going to have to drive an exceptionally wide Formula E car if he wants to hold on to a podium position here. Dan Tickton needs to remember to go. Oh, and here comes Verlaine.
Yep. Clean move.
Into the chicane.
De Grassi knew he was coming.
And now Jake Hughes is going to try and take advantage of this as well. Florian Modlinger with a little round of applause in the garage. The Porsche up into second place. It's a Porsche powertrain 1-2 right now.
Verlaine 1% more than us, de Grassi 2% less.
And that is Hughes being told de Grassi's got less energy. It's time to get him, son, by Alan Cox, his race engineer. We'll see if he does it this time, coming down the start-finish straight on board with the British driver.
Foxtrot urgent, Foxtrot urgent.
The brakes into turn 1. I say onto the brakes. Onto the brake pedal.
On regen.
And I think that Foxtrot urgent means you've got to get past this guy.
Same cryptic message that they used as Mercedes last year.
Yeah. That was the inside here, de Grassi. The thing is for de Grassi, how much does he fight? Because the more he fights, the more he loses energy. But he's already kind of out of the energy game already, so might as well just get your elbows out and give it a go.
There's a bit of psychology behind it as well, because he knows that he's one of the most experienced drivers going against a rookie.
Yeah.
And Jake understands it as well. Jake Hughes, that is.
30 of 36. There's the energy remaining. De Grassi's, he's still 3% less. It's still looking tough for him. Dennis and Verlaine looking very, very strong out front now. Dennis has built his lead up to only 4 seconds again. Man's fast sometimes. He's just disappearing up the road time and time again today. The DS Penskes have got him in the 9th and 11th, so Verne is into the points. Maybe they could come through at the end and get a few places. De Grassi running in 3rd.
Sock is -2 on the top 6.
That's not the radio message you want to hear.
No, and 2% might sound like a little bit, but in Formula E, that's a huge pace disadvantage that Lucas de Grassi has.
I mean, 3% is usually about a lap, so we're talking that level of difference here. Hughes really needs to try and get past de Grassi as soon as possible. Well, although, if he gets past de Grassi, can he chase in on Verlaine? I don't know, because the gap there is up to 1.5 seconds. Here's a look at Verlaine's move on de Grassi. Down towards the chicane. Came from quite far back, but got the job done. Through the final corner, that 32 of 36. Jake Dennis is leading.
Okay, same energy to the leader. Same energy to the leader. You've got 2% more than the car behind. So just focus on efficiency, mate.
Now here's some fighting further back. Da Costa is just ahead of Fenestraz.
Evans moving on the brakes there. I mean, the rear of his car was not very stable.
I'll try to make it short.
32 of 36. Jake Dennis is leading the way. Here he is in the Andretti.
Maybe sounds like a bit of debris on track somewhere.
Yeah. 4.3 second lead over the front for Jake Dennis here, which is absolutely huge, especially considering he's built up that lead once and then built it up again. And he was saying to you on the grid, he was not expecting to be racing up at the front this weekend.
I think he's being modest. Once that helmet goes on and the visor drops, you've got to feel like the man.
Yeah, you know? but after Valencia, I don't think Porsche or Andretti came into this weekend thinking we're going to be front runners. Now, I know Dennis believes in himself. There's no doubt about that in almost every sense, especially fashion. But I think that all of the teams weren't expecting to be fighting for poles and wins necessarily.
But with this new car, the new regulations, the developments, it's a development race. It's happening so fast, and these cars are nowhere near running at their full potential. At least not yet. As a couple of races and some more track time gets under these drivers' belts.
Up to Pascal 4.5 is growing.
That's a nice message to hear.
Yeah, I bet. There you can see the gaps on the left-hand side. And still, De Grassi is holding on here and swinging through the left-handers of the stadium section. Dennis disappearing out in front still.
Now, as a driver, you know you have the advantage. You know you have the gap to the car behind leading the race. Listening to any bump or a potential problem in the car, it's hard not to notice those things.
5 added laps. We've got 5 added laps because of the time spent behind safety car. So we now will have 8 laps to go in this Mexico City E-Prix, and that is not good news either for Lucas de Grassi. Although his energy percentage is coming back, he's only minus 2% now, 2.2, 2.3, which is still not great, but not a disaster. The reason you see him moving, de Grassi goes in super deep into turns 5 and 6. That'll give him a bit more regen, I guess. The longer he's on the brakes, but he's really working hard to try and keep this place. The reason you see the percentage going up and down and increasing and decreasing is because they're regenerating energy at different points on the circuit. So that's why you see such a fluctuation. Here's Jake Hughes' radio.
Continue to increase charge where possible.
So continue to regenerate energy where possible, basically, for Jake Hughes. This is kind of getting him back under control. Is De Grassi finishing on the podium?
I think with his experience, yes.
You reckon he can do it?
And it looks like right now that he's fast in all the right places. As a driver trying to put energy back into the car compared to your competitors, you're going to be slower in areas of the track where he knows the drivers behind can't overtake. So he's very smart at the moment.
Lotterer looks like he's getting a bit lottery in 5th position.
Jake's close now, he's going to go.
Hughes tried to kind of get the cutback coming into turn 5, but De Grassi saw it coming, and here comes Lotterer. Jake Hughes is about to have his first experience of the German man. Here they come, down towards the chicane.
Just be careful to De Grassi, he will back up at top 5 again.
And that's Lotterer's engineer calling in exactly that De Grassi will back everyone up at turn 5, and that's exactly what he did, because he can defend there because of that kick, and that kind of leaves him safe for the chicane later on.
And he's lifting early, so he's not deploying as much energy as the cars behind, trying to overtake, just trying to get that battery percentage a bit closer to his competitors.
So we're on lap 36 of 36, but there's 5 added laps. So we've got 6 laps to go still as we come out of the final corner and across the line. Jake Dennis' lead is now 5 seconds, and then Verline is 4 seconds ahead of De Grassi. De Grassi is just... if De Grassi finishes on the podium here, it might be one of his great drives. He's had a lot of good drives in Formula E, but this would be quite a day for De Grassi if he's able to hold on to the podium. Oh, so close in this fight for in position. Through the chicane.
Foxtrot's urgent, Foxtrot's urgent.
And Hughes, that's at least the second time he's been told Foxtrot's urgent, which means you've got to overtake this dude. But he hasn't been able to yet. Also, keep an eye on Stoffel Vandoorne and Januari in 9th and 11th. They've both got a bit more energy than those around him, and they've both got an attack mode remaining with 5 laps left at the end of this one. So just keep a little eye on them. We're into the 5 added laps now. Through the final corner, out across the line. Dennis leading. And we're on lap 1 of 5 of the added laps. And Hughes is having to defend a little here. All of this is bringing Buemi into the fight.
1.5% more energy than Degrassi.
Hughes again being told, look, you've got more energy than Degrassi. But look at Buemi in the green and vision at the back of the queue here.
It's a 4-way fight for third.
Yeah.
This is the race on the track right now. Degrassi defending again. Buemi returning to the front of the grid after a struggle last year.
Yeah, he can vision team. Oh, Degrassi's got it really deep into the chicane there, and he's going to be under an awful lot of pressure. Does he cover? Coming down into the stadium, he doesn't. So Degrassi is still fighting the fight and holding on, and he's wide. Is that the chance for Hughes? No! Degrassi is just... This is remarkable stuff. But he doesn't look like he's got any grip left, let alone any energy.
Textbook defending.
Yeah.
It's really good to watch. Degrassi here.
A lot of Verne activates his final attack mode, so we'll keep an eye on him. But this fight for the final podium spot is absolutely superb. Across the line we go again. Degrassi, Hughes, Lotterer, and Buemi. He didn't go in deep into the chicane on purpose. Did he to sort of, I don't know, slow everyone else down a little? That doesn't seem like a tactic that's real.
No, and as we see here, going back into the sector of the track we're overtaking is an opportunity.
So there's a bit of contact there as well with the Andretti's. And well, there comes Mitch Evans. He's coming to the inside here of Sasha Fennestraus and gets through. No front wing for Verne. So Verne's had a collision out there somewhere. He's got no front wing. He's gone heavily into the back of someone. I think Vandoorne's got damage as well.
There's a yellow flag.
Yes, Penske's have got damage on the front of their cars. But here we go, back to Degrassi in 3rd place. It's all coming together now in the final few laps of the Mexico City Prix. Degrassi holding on to 3rd. Hughes, Lotterer and Buemi behind. And maybe there was contact there with Buemi and Lotterer, because Buemi has hit the back of Lotterer at some point too. So it's all kicking off. Across the line comes Dennis. 3 laps to go. There's the energy, and still Degrassi and Hughes are right together.
Yellow's T7 now. Yellow's T7 now. You're smashing this, mate. There's 1 more lap down. Keep it up.
So yellow flags hit. Oh, there's a car on the left. It's Rast. So it's René Rast. He's off the circuit. He's in a safe location. So hopefully the race will continue. Back we go again.
Well, now he doesn't have to defend, so you can't overtake over yellow.
Roland and Rast collided apparently. So that's what happened there.
So
here it goes.
It's clear for them. There's still a yellow.
Yeah, that's the
can't
problem.
overtake.
It's because of that debris.
There's debris in turn 9.
So yellow at turn 7 and at turn 8. So that takes out that overtaking opportunity. And Rast didn't realise, Hughes didn't realise, and was sort of on the full send before he realised. 2 laps to go at the end of this one. Look at this queue for 3rd place, which Antonio Felix da Costa has now joined. Absolutely remarkable. On board with Buemi, who's at the back of this queue in 6th position. And Degrassi's got a bit of a gap to Jake Hughes now as well. As they come around the final corner to start the penultimate lap of the Prix. Degrassi's gap is 0.8 of a second. It might be enough for 2 more laps. He's suddenly not defending from Jake Hughes quite as aggressively. And Lotterer is still nosing to the inside.
2 laps left, 0.5% to Hughes.
He's done a remarkable job here, Lucas Degrassi. Absolutely remarkable. Still 2 laps to go. Make that a lap and a half.
still a yellow. We'll see if the debris is cleared.
Oh, look from Buemi, but again that's into the. I think the debris is still there. So I think the yellow flag is still there at turn 8. But look at Lotterer now, he's going to get impatient. Running in 5th place. No, and not into the stadium section. Wow, thought about it. On board with the Avalanche Andretti driver, running in 5th place. His teammate is disappearing up the road. Jake Dennis leading as he starts the final lap of the Mexico City Prix. He's 7.5 seconds ahead of Pascal Wehrlein in 2nd place. And now is the battle for 3rd coming into view. Lucas de Grassi. He's got a good advantage over Hughes with 1 lap to go.
Now. Hughes defending.
Same energy as de Grassi.
Same
No
energy as
risk,
de Grassi.
no risk.
Whoa, Lotterer forces it around the outside. Hughes holds the inside line coming into turn 3. And how much pressure is Lotterer under from Buemi? A bit, but he manages to keep it together. How racy is Da Costa? Da Costa goes to the outside at the back of the queue in the Porsche. There's a bit of contact between Lotterer and Hughes ahead of him. Fennestrauss has now dropped down the points and down into 13th place. And there's the move. It's a slippery, I think it's a slippery surface flag now. I don't think it's a yellow anymore there in the chicane. So that seems like a legitimate move for Lotterer. He's got up into 4th place. Hughes drops down to 5th. But the Avalanche Andretti is coming through the final corner. And Jake Dennis starts Gen 3 of Formula E with a superb, dominant win in Mexico City. Jake Dennis wins and is the first winner of the season. The first winner of season 9.
Ya, baru saja kita menyaksikan seri pembuka di Formula E musim ke-9 dan tentunya nanti kita akan membahas mengenai jalannya race yang sangat panas ini. Tetaplah bersama kami di iNews Sport.
Balapannya sendiri sangat seru dan saya pikir mungkin kalau ngelihat seperti ini F1 pun harusnya takut ya sama Formula E kalau balapannya modelnya seperti ini dan seru sekali dan rasanya mobil-mobil atau regulasi-regulasi kan mendekati ke Formula One juga.
Benar. Dan kalau kita membahas mengenai di Sirkuit Satu ini atau tepatnya di Meksiko ini, di musim lalu memang sempat banyak juga kecelakaan-kecelakaan yang terjadi. Tetapi kalau di musim ini menurut saya beberapa kecelakaan yang terjadi pure karena masih adaptasi para pembalap. Karena banyak sekali kecelakaan-kecelakaan tunggal seperti tadi Robin Frijns, kemudian juga ada beberapa juga dan sangat disayangkan sekali juga tadi ada Sam Bird juga yang kecelakaan dan kita tidak mengetahui jelas sebenarnya kecelakaannya kenapa. Memang sempat ada tayangan ulang tadi bagaimana kecelakaan Robin Frijns kemudian juga Sam Bird. Yang kita lihat adalah masalah dari segi mobilnya, masalah mekanikal kalau hal tersebut, Bung.
Iya, kita juga belum tahu secara pasti Robin Frijns. Yang jelas kita juga dapat kabar tadi dari komentator kan sempat ngomong bahwa tangan dari Robin Frijns juga mengalami broken wrist. Oh ya? Sehingga harus dilarikan ke rumah sakit. Semoga dia bisa cepat kembali ke race berikutnya. Dan juga tadi sebenarnya agak aneh kan? Saya juga saya pikir terdorong dari belakang, ternyata enggak.
Pas kita lihat tayangan ulangnya sama sekali tidak ada sentuhan dari belakang mobil Robin Frijns. Yang ada malah justru karena Robin Frijns seperti selip atau ngegas mungkin ya Bung ya. Yang ada malah Normanato yang dirugikan.
Menjadi korban, betul.
Benar sekali.
Betul. Kemudian kalau Sam Bird tadi rasanya memang dari kemarin itu mobil yang memakai powertrain Jaguar itu bermasalah. Apakah itu juga imbas dari yang kemarin? Kita akan lihat nanti seperti apa yang terjadi karena memang dari kemarin kita dengarkan dulu.
To obviously win by that margin, start on the front row, and to obviously get Porsche 1-2 is absolutely incredible. So big shout out to my team. Such a physical race. These cars are so hard to drive physically, and obviously with the lower grip as well, it just makes everything so challenging. But even more rewarding when you win by 7.5 seconds. So time for some tequilas with the team, and yeah, incredible race.
I'm sure there'll be plenty of that. But just talk us through, because it feels like you and the car have really worked so well together all day. You've looked great on track today. Why has it all come together so well for you?
Just, you know, my team and I just have such a good relationship together, and we just work so well. You know, when it's up against us like it was in the qualifying in that final one, we turned it around and made some small adjustments for the race and absolutely nailed it. So big kudos to my guys. I'm nothing without them, and yeah, this is just a small repayment for them, and yeah, hope to more success, because obviously Saudi's not far away.
Exactly. Now all you've got to do is reproduce exactly the same performance in a couple of weeks.
I'll try my best.
Enjoy the tequila. Jake Dennis, today's winner at the Mexico Prix.
Ya, tentunya kita ucapkan selamat kepada juara di seri pembuka kali ini, yaitu Jack Dennis. Dan seperti yang dikatakan, kerja keras dia dan juga timnya akhirnya terbayar dengan podium pertama, podium perdana di musim ini. Dan apa yang akan dilakukan oleh Jack Dennis di round kedua atau di putaran kedua, dia mengatakan try my best. Ini memang sangat realistis sekali, karena kita masih belum mengetahui ibaratnya peta persaingan di musim ini, karena semuanya start from the scratch. Tetapi kita dengarkan terlebih dahulu interview dengan podium kedua, yaitu Verlaine.
Great way to start the season. Pace was awesome. I mean, starting from P6 to end up in P2 was really, really good. So I'm very grateful for the car that my team gave me this weekend, and yeah, I think the last couple of months we really put in some hard work, especially also the last couple of weeks after Valencia, and yeah, I just want to thank everyone in the team for the hard work, and yeah, we have a clear goal this season, and that's the best way to start it.
And it looked like energy management was really good for you guys as well.
Yeah, definitely. It seemed like the pace in the race was really good. Even in qualifying, all the Porsche cars were super strong, so yeah. We hope just that it's not a one-off. We keep working hard. You know, last year Mexico has also been our best race, so we just need to make sure to keep working hard, to understand the car really, really good, and then to make progress. And like I said, we want to fight for the championship, and it's a good way to start.
Absolutely, onwards and upwards. Thanks very much, Pascal Wehrlein.
Ya, cara yang bagus untuk memulai start di musim ini. Saya setuju dengan apa yang dikatakan oleh Pascal Wehrlein, di mana kita tahu Pascal Wehrlein ini juga menjadi juara di musim lalu. Waktu itu semuanya adalah all German, yaitu pabrikannya atau timnya dan juga teammates-nya juga sama-sama naik podium dengan Pascal Wehrlein. Dan bagaimana kita saksikan Pascal Wehrlein ini tampil cukup baik sekali dalam balapan di hari ini. Dan kalau kita lihat tadi sempat dibahas oleh Bung Wahab mengenai waktu antara yang pertama, kedua, ketiga ini cukup jauh sekali, meskipun kita masih belum tahu apa masalah yang terjadi. Dan kita lihat ini adalah interview dengan Digrasi tepatnya yang meraih pole position. Kita dengarkan terlebih dahulu.
Thank you very much. It was a very, very tough race. Of course, we are not in this race. We know that the Porsches are extremely fast. Remember last year that they won 1 and 2 and they disappeared. So it was impossible to hold Jake and Pascal. I was running low on energy, but I tried to defend as much as I could. And in the end, the podium is like a win to us. We did only 3-4 days with this car. It's still so much potential to take it out. I'm super happy.
Well, enjoy the celebrations, and we can't wait to see what you can do in Saudi. Thanks very much.
Lucas Digrasi mengatakan sangat sulit sekali untuk mengejar Jack Dennis dan juga Pascal Wehrlein dengan kendaraan yang dimilikinya. Apalagi kita tahu juga rekor dari Jack Dennis dan Wehrlein di Meksiko Seri Prix ini sendiri. Oke, dan sambil sama-sama kita lihat ini adalah raihan poin saat ini. Ada Jack Dennis di urutan pertama tentunya, dan sesuai dengan urutan dari pemenang hari ini pastinya. Dan memang kita lihat juga, dan kalau ini adalah tim championship yaitu Avalanche Andretti di urutan pertama dengan 38 poin, diikuti oleh Tech Uyak Pos dengan 24 poin dan 19 poin bagi Mahindra Racing, 18 poin maksud saya. Ya, komentar Anda setelah menyaksikan ini, Bung?
Ya, saya pikir kita belum bisa tahu apakah tim unggulan itu yang mana.
Ya.
Yang jelas DS dan Penske itu belum kita sebut unggulan. Meskipun DS-nya cukup dominan ya sebelum era Mercedes kemarin ya. Dan juga Mercedes yang berganti pemilik dan dibeli oleh McLaren juga kita belum bisa sebut mereka juga akan dominan, belum ada tanda-tanda ke arah itu. Tapi saya cukup senang karena balapan yang menarik itu saja menurut saya.
Iya, setuju. Dan memang terlalu dini untuk menyimpulkan, apalagi ini juga baru satu seri saja dari 16 seri yang akan berlangsung di musim ini. Tetapi setidaknya kita memang melihat jelas bahwa apa yang diinginkan oleh Formula E dengan mobil Gen 3 ini berjalan lancar setidak-tidaknya dari sisi competitiveness-nya ibaratnya. Dan itu memang terbukti dari awal hingga akhir, meskipun tadi sempat ada 4 kali yellow flag dan juga banyak diwarnai oleh kecelakaan yang rata-rata adalah kecelakaan tunggal, dan tentu saja hal tersebut masih menunggu investigasi apakah kecelakaan tunggal tersebut karena masalah mesin dari masing-masing tim atau hanya dibutuhkan adaptasi oleh para pembalap. Tentunya kita masih akan menunggu mengenai informasi tersebut dan nanti di seri perdana ini. Ya, apa yang akan berubah pada seri kali ini atau di musim ini tepatnya? Dari segi tampilan memang lebih bright ibaratnya dibandingkan dengan tampilan podium seremoni di musim sebelumnya ya Bung ya. Padahal di musim sebelumnya juga kita mengatakan bahwa waduh, inilah yang membuat Formula E berbeda dari balapan-balapan lainnya, yaitu sangat memanjakan mata. Dan kalau kita lihat tadi stage-nya pun juga berbeda dibandingkan musim lalu. Tetapi tidak hanya itu saja Bung Wahab, kabarnya trofi yang akan dipegang oleh para pembalap ini di podium juga berbeda dibandingkan musim lalu.
Berbeda ya.
Iya.
Iya, mungkin dia melakukan penyegaran di semua hal. Semua hal melakukan penyegaran, artinya mungkin saatnya mulai dengan mobil baru, dengan semuanya baru, sehingga kita ini benar-benar kan 8 musim itu juga kalau penggemar udah mulai banyak juga mungkin apalagi yang penggemar dari awal kan mulai bosen ya. Ini sekarang mungkin agak sedikit berbeda, dan kita lihat memang benar panggungnya itu adalah panggung yang sedikit berbeda dengan musim lalu. Dan ada beberapa panggung yang kalau saya lihat juga agak aneh karena mobil itu bisa naik ke atas, tapi kayaknya tidak terjadi di sini mungkin.
Padahal saya menunggu-nunggu karena sepertinya sudah disiapkan di tengah-tengah treknya, ternyata tidak. Tetapi yang patut kita acungi jempol juga selain mengenai Formula E ini sendiri adalah penonton di Meksiko City Prix ini memang luar biasa sekali, memberikan semangat juga untuk para pembalap kalau melihat full house nih ibaratnya serinya nih ya Bung ya.
Betul. Dan interaksinya ya pada saat di sini kan juga tidak gampang itu mendatangkan penonton. Biasanya dari tempat duduk dia di tribun untuk datang ke kayak di podium area gini atau kalau di WSBK ada namanya pedok show, ini seperti kayak pedok show seperti itu juga nggak gampang
karena makan waktu untuk perjalanannya biasanya ya Bung ya.
Betul. Tapi ini saya lihat sangat penuh ya, itu yang pasti Formula E juga senang Formula E Operation karena terlihat di TV-nya juga penuh sekali, dan itu yang diharapkan sebenarnya.
Ya, kita dengarkan terlebih dahulu National Anthem dari Inggris.
El himno nacional del equipo ganador. And next, the national anthem of the winning team from the United States of America. felicitaciones a todos los ganadores.